The arrival room. The spaceport was silent. Only the soft hum of Jack's shuttle could be heard as it landed on the isolated alien moon called Celera 9. He stepped out alone. His boots touched the strange red dust that clung to his soles. There was no one around. Just fog, silence, and the broken shape of a silver alien ship half buried in the sand. Jack was a human engineer. Fixing damaged ships was his job, but this one was special. This ship belonged to the Neolari, a mysterious alien race known for beauty, intelligence, and complete isolation from humans. No human had ever met them face to face. Jack didn't know what to expect. The ship's entrance was already open, as if someone had been waiting. He stepped inside. The air was warm and sweet-smelling, like alien flowers. The walls glowed faint purple. He walked through the curving corridors until he found the arrival room. It was large and round, filled with soft blue lights and strange floating symbols. And there, standing in the middle of it, was her. She was unlike anything Jack had ever seen. Tall and slender, her skin shimmered, like moonlight, smooth and violet. Her golden eyes glowed softly, and her long white hair moved like silk in zero gravity. She didn't wear armor or robes, just a simple flowing cloth wrapped around her body, showing curves that were almost human. Jack froze. The alien woman tilted her head and stepped forward, her movement slow and smooth. She looked at him the way an artist looks at a painting. "You are the human?" she asked. Her voice was soft, musical. Jack nodded. "Yes, I'm Jack, engineer. I came to fix your ship." She smiled, but it wasn't just polite. It was deep, curious. "I am Celera, daughter of the Third Memory Clan," she said. "We were told humans are functional, efficient, cold, but you are different." Jack blinked. Thanks." She walked around him slowly, her eyes scanning every part of him. It felt strange, like she was reading his soul through his skin. "I've never seen a human body this close," she said quietly. "Your form, your movement, the way your chest rises with breath. It is so alive." Jack coughed. "You mean breathing?" She smiled again. "Yes, it's beautiful." Jack looked away, a bit nervous. "Look, I'm just here to fix the energy core. Shouldn't take long." But Celera didn't move away. She stepped closer. Too close. He could feel the warmth of her body now, though they weren't touching. "You may begin your work," she said. "But I will stay with you. I must observe everything." Jack frowned. "Everything?" She nodded, slowly. "Yes, I want to understand what makes you human." He laughed nervously. "You could just read a file." "I have," she said softly. "But it's not the same. I must see it. Feel it." Jack turned toward the engine console, trying to focus. He started scanning the power lines, hands moving across glowing panels. But he felt her eyes on him the whole time, watching his fingers, watching how his muscles moved under his shirt. She whispered, "Even your hands? They are not like ours, so firm, yet gentle." Jack looked at her. "Do you always talk like that?" Celera tilted her head. "Is it not proper?" No, it's just a little intense." She smiled wider. "Good." He shook his head, half smiling. "You're not like what I expected." "Neither are you," she said. "And that is why I'm not letting you leave." Jack froze. "What?" She stepped to a nearby panel and touched it. A soft chime sounded. The door behind him slid shut and locked. "Don't worry," she said calmly. "You are safe. But until I understand what you are, truly, I cannot allow you to go." Jack stared at her. Was she serious? Or was this some kind of alien joke? Her golden eyes glowed. "I don't wish to harm you. I wish to know you." He took a step back. "Lady, I'm just here to fix a ship." "And I," she said, am here to study the most fascinating form I have ever seen. Jack swallowed hard. He had walked into a simple repair job. But now, he was locked inside a ship with a sensual alien woman who looked at him like he was more than just human. He was a mystery to her, and she wasn't planning to let him go. Her gaze never leaves him. Jack sat on the floor of the alien engine room, wires in his hands. But his mind wasn't on the broken circuits. It was on Zalera. She hadn't moved an inch. She stood just 5 feet away from him, golden eyes fixed on his every movement. She didn't blink much. She didn't even breathe the way humans did, but her gaze, it followed him like light chasing shadow. Jack cleared his throat. You know, it's kinda hard to work when someone's staring at me like I'm a museum piece. Zalera stepped forward slowly. Her voice was soft and low. I am not staring. I am absorbing. Feels the same, Jack muttered. She tilted her head. Does my presence make you uncomfortable? He paused. Looked up at her. Her violet skin shimmered under the soft blue lights. Her robe barely covered her shoulders now, and her silver-white hair framed her face like a glowing halo. She looked elegant, alien, dangerous in a beautiful way. I don't know what to feel, Jack admitted. Zalera knelt down beside him, smooth, silent, and stared at his hands again. Your fingers, they have small scars. From tools? Yeah. I work with machines a lot. Sometimes they bite back. She gently reached out and traced one faded cut along his thumb. Her touch was warm. Too warm. Your body tells stories, she whispered. Pain, work, life. Jack pulled his hand back quickly. Okay, we need to keep this professional. Zalera blinked. Professional? Yeah. No touching. No. Studying me like I'm a weird animal. I'm just here to fix your ship. Zalera smiled faintly. But I've already learned your ship isn't what interests me most. Jack stared at her. What are you really after? She stood up gracefully. Let me show you something. She walked ahead, her feet silent against the metallic floor. Jack hesitated, then followed. They passed curved halls and pulsing light panels, until they reached a sealed chamber. The door opened. Inside was a room filled with holograms, floating images, human bodies. Some were diagrams, muscles, nerves, bones. Others were more artistic, statues, paintings, even dance footage, all human, all admired. Jack stepped inside, shocked. What is this? Zalera spoke gently. This is my private study. I've been watching humans for many years from a distance. I've read your books, I've watched your films, your bodies, your movements. They are so unlike ours. Why? Why do all this? She turned to him. Her voice dropped into something more personal. Because I felt something. When I first saw a human dance, I felt a flutter inside me. Something I never knew before. Something I couldn't explain. That's why I requested this ship. To come closer. And now, you are here. Jack walked slowly through the room, watching images shift. Some showed warriors, others lovers, mothers, children, all human. This is intense, he whispered. I do not mean to scare you, she said, but your kind fascinates me. He turned back to her. You said you watched us from far away. Why not just send a message? Say hello? Zalera looked down. My people do not approve. They say we must not bond with humans. That we are too different. Jack gave a small laugh. They might be right. Zalera stepped closer, again, her voice now just above a whisper. But I feel something when I look at you. Not just curiosity, not just desire. It is longing. Jack's breath caught in his throat. She stared at him like he was a piece of the universe she had been missing. I want to learn what it means to feel the way humans do, she said. Not just touch, not just science, emotion, connection, all of it. Jack didn't know what to say. But then the lights in the room flickered. The ship's AI spoke in a calm voice. Warning, emotional bond pattern detected. Neural compatibility rising. Jack looked up. What the hell does that mean? Zalera didn't answer. She just looked at him. Her eyes were glowing softly again. But this time, they didn't feel alien. They felt human. Alien curiosity or obsession? Jack stood quietly in Zalera's hologram room. The walls still shimmered with moving images of human life. Laughing children, warriors in battle, dancers spinning with passion. He had never seen himself as anything special before. But here, in this alien woman's eyes, his body and spirit were something to be admired, even worshipped. He turned to her. You said your people don't approve of bonding with humans. Then why are you doing this? Zalera took a slow breath. Because I don't want to observe from a distance anymore. I want to understand what it feels like to connect, truly connect. She stepped forward. We don't have emotions like yours, not in the same way. But ever since I first studied humans, I've been drawn to something I couldn't name. Her hand hovered near his chest. It's here, this place, your heart. It's not just a muscle, it holds warmth. Jack took a step back, trying to stay calm. You're talking about feelings, love, trust. Those things don't just happen in a lab. I know, she whispered, but I want to feel them, and only you can show me. Jack frowned. Why me? There are billions of humans. Zalera looked into his eyes, soft and intense. Because when I touched your hand, I felt something. A current, a link. My instincts told me, you are the one I must bond with. Jack shook his head. This is crazy. We don't even know each other. I've studied you more than you know, she said quietly. Your people, your culture. But what I feel now is beyond study. She walked to a small pedestal at the center of the room and activated it. A small orb floated into the air, glowing gently, pulsing like a heartbeat. What is that? Jack asked. This is a sync core. It allows a temporary emotional bridge between two minds. No lies, no masks. Just feeling. Jack looked at the orb with hesitation. So like, a mind meld? Not thoughts, Zalera said. Feelings only. You will feel what I feel. Just for a few seconds. Jack crossed his arms. What's the catch? Zalera didn't smile this time. There is risk. If we are too compatible, the core may start. The binding. The what now? In my species, she explained, a perfect emotional sync begins a permanent connection. It is sacred and irreversible. Jack stared. You mean like marriage? Deeper, she said. We become life-bonded. No matter the distance, we will feel each other. Hunger, pain, joy, even desire. Jack looked at the orb, then at her. Have you ever done this before? He asked. No, Zalera said softly. You are my first. For a long moment, silence filled the room. Then Jack stepped closer. All right, he said. But just a few seconds? Zalera nodded. He reached out and touched the orb. It hit him like lightning, but soft. Gentle. Suddenly, Jack felt Zalera's emotions flowing into him. Loneliness, curiosity, admiration. The deep ache of watching something, beautiful from far away, never able to touch it. And then, desire. Not just physical. It was something spiritual. A longing to be held, to be known, to be seen. Jack gasped and pulled his hand back. The orb dimmed. Zalera was watching him, her golden eyes wide. You felt it, didn't you? Jack was speechless. She stepped closer. Tell me, Jack, was it only curiosity or did you feel what I felt? He tried to speak, but his voice was dry. I don't know what to call it, but yes, I felt it. Zalera's lips trembled. Then it's real. Before he could respond, the AI voice returned. Emotional resonance confirmed. Sync level. 89% warning, bond threshold approaching. Solera's eyes widened. That high? Jack stepped back. What happens if it passes 90? The bond begins, she whispered. Your body will resist at first, but your heart will surrender. Jack turned to leave, but the door didn't open. He turned to her sharply. Open the door, Solera. She looked at him sadly. Would you really walk away from this without knowing how deep it could go? Jack's fists tightened. I came here to fix a ship, not to get soul bonded to a glowing alien woman with emotional tech. Solera didn't move. And yet your heart raced when I touched you. I felt it. He stopped. She was right. Whatever had just happened, it wasn't fake. It wasn't a trick. It was real. And it scared him. The biological merge warning. The room was too quiet now. Jack stood still, breathing fast, the sync core still pulsing faintly behind him like a heartbeat that didn't belong to him. Solera hadn't moved either, but her expression had changed. She no longer looked like a curious, alien researcher. She looked like someone on the edge of something irreversible. Jack's voice finally broke the silence. You said this bond was sacred, permanent. What if I don't want it? Solera's voice was low, almost broken. Then I will respect that. I will not force you. But as she stepped back, something unexpected happened. A soft chime echoed across the chamber. Then the ship's AI spoke in a sharp mechanical tone. Warning, biological merge detected. Emotional sync exceeded safe threshold. Jack blinked. What does that mean? Solera's eyes widened in fear. No, it's too soon. The lights shifted. The sync core flared brightly, then vanished into the ceiling. And Jack stumbled back, clutching his chest. A warmth had begun spreading through him, not painful but strange, like his heartbeat was no longer his own. Solera, what's happening to me? She ran toward him, gently holding his arms. The bond, it has begun without full consent. The core must have sensed our compatibility. It forced the merge. Jack looked at her, panic rising. You said it was just a feeling, not permanent unless we chose. I thought so too, Solera said, her voice shaking. But sometimes the bond chooses for us. Jack backed away. No, that's not fair. I didn't agree to be whatever this is. But he could already feel it. Her emotions weren't just memories now. They were becoming his. He felt her fear, her deep loneliness, her excitement, her need to be held, to be close to someone real. And it was mixing with his own thoughts. He was confused, scared, but also curious, and worse, drawn to her. Solera looked up at him with shimmering eyes. I'm sorry, Jack. I never wanted this without your will. But now, we must act quickly. What do you mean? If we don't stabilize the merge, your human body will reject the bond. Your mind will tear the emotions apart. It could damage both of us. Jack cursed under his breath. Great. So I'm dying from emotional overload? Solera didn't smile this time. It's more serious than that. If your mind collapses under the connection, you might lose your identity. You will feel what I feel forever, without control, without limits. Jack leaned against a wall, trying to think. There's got to be a way to reverse it. There is one way, she said, stepping closer. But it is dangerous. He looked up. We enter the merge chamber, she explained. It's designed to complete or dissolve a bond, but the process is raw, deep. If we go in, everything inside us will be revealed, secrets, wounds, desires. We cannot hide anything there. Jack stared at her. If I say no? Solera's voice softened. Then we risk permanent damage. To you, and to me. He closed his eyes, breathing deeply. He had come to fix a ship. Now he was facing the possibility of losing himself in the mind of a beautiful alien woman who admired his body, his soul, maybe more. When he opened his eyes again, Solera was standing before him, hands folded, waiting. He whispered, "Let's go to the merge chamber." The doors opened with a hiss. Inside was a circular room glowing with silver light. In the Y center floated a pool of white mist and 2 seats formed of crystal, facing each other. Zalera walked in first, graceful and silent. She sat down and looked up at him. "This place will reveal who you are," she said, "and who I am. You must not lie." Jack slowly stepped in. "I've never done this," he admitted. "Neither have I," she whispered. "But I want to." He sat down across from her. The mist rose. The AI spoke again. "Merge initiation. Begin memory stream." And then, Jack was no longer in the room. He was falling into her memories. The night of understanding, Jack wasn't falling through space. He was falling through her. Flashes of Zalera's life rushed into him like waves. Childhood under violet skies, silent learning chambers, floating cities where no one touched. No one hugged, no one cried. Her people prized perfection, logic, control. Emotions were seen as weakness. Touch was almost forbidden. But deep inside her, even from her earliest years, Zalera longed for something different. She had stared out at the stars every night hoping someone out there felt things the way she did, and then she found the humans. Passion, rage, love, laughter, everything her world had hidden. The memory faded. Jack gasped as he came back to himself, inside the merged chamber, breathless. He was still seated across from Zalera. She looked shaken too. "You saw it," she whispered. "You saw me." Jack nodded slowly. "Yeah, all of it. You were so alone. I didn't want anyone to know," she said softly. "I was told it was wrong to feel." Jack swallowed. "It's not. It makes you real." The mist between them shimmered, and now his memories flowed. This time, Zalera was the one seeing. Jack's childhood, dirt and sky, a broken home, a sick mother. He had to fix things. Machines, wires, whatever he could, to survive. But no one ever fixed him. No one asked him how he felt. He had learned to smile while carrying pain alone. When the vision ended, Zalera reached for his hand, this time with care, not curiosity. "You hide your feelings behind your tools," she said. Jack nodded. "Because machines don't hurt you." "But I am not a machine," she whispered. And in that moment something shifted. No lights, no sounds, just the weight of truth between them. Jack looked into her golden eyes and said, "You didn't just admire the human body. You were searching for the human heart." Zalera's throat tightened. "Yes, I wanted to feel what you feel. I wanted someone to see me, not as a researcher or a body, but as a person." The chamber lights dimmed, and the AI spoke once. More emotional merge balanced, bond status stabilized. But Jack wasn't focused on the voice, he was focused on her. "You said the bond was permanent," he said. "Does this mean we're linked forever now?" Zalera's expression was calm, peaceful. "Only if you accept it." Jack stood up slowly. "You didn't choose me randomly, did you?" "No," she said. "You felt real, tired, brave, and kind. All the things my people say are flaws, but I believe they're strength." There was silence again. Not the cold kind. The kind that wraps around two people when they finally understand each other. Jack walked to the edge of the chamber. "What happens if I say yes?" "We will live," Zalera said. "Together if you choose. You will feel what I feel. We will never lie to each other. We will never be alone again." Jack turned back to her. The woman who once only admired him from a distance now stood before him, heart open, soul revealed. He smiled faintly. "One night. Let me stay one night. No promises, just show me who you are without glowing lights or strange machines." Zalera stepped forward, her voice trembling. "Then let this night be ours." Later, under the alien stars shining through the dome, they sat together in silence. Celera had let down her hair completely. Jack had taken off his boots, finally, able to breathe. No ship alarms, no AI voices. Just the hum of the galaxy. She leaned her head against his shoulder. "You're warm," she whispered. He smiled. "You always say that." "It matters," she said, "because in all my life I've never felt warmth like this." Jack didn't respond with words. He just stayed still, letting her stay close, heart to heart. That night wasn't about passion or desire. It was about understanding. 2 lives. Human and alien, learning that the body was only the surface. It was the heart that made someone beautiful. Human limits. Alien desires. The first light of the alien sun slipped through the curved glass ceiling, casting soft silver across the chamber. Floor. Jack opened his eyes slowly. He wasn't in his bunk, he wasn't in a repair bay. He was lying on a soft platform covered in smooth alien cloth, and beside him, resting peacefully, was Celera. She wasn't glowing now. Her skin was dim, calm. Her long hair spilled across the bedding like starlight. She looked peaceful. Not like a scientist or some powerful alien diplomat, just like a woman, gentle, fragile, real. Jack sat up quietly. His body still ached from the merge, like he'd run for miles without moving. His chest felt heavy, but not in pain. Something had changed. Deep inside, he could still feel a thread, pulling softly toward her. It wasn't just memory. It was connection. Celera stirred beside him. Her eyes opened, golden as ever, and she looked at him. Not as a project, not as a subject, but as a man. "You're still here," she said softly. "I said one night," Jack replied, "and I meant it." She sat up too, wrapping the cloth around her shoulders. "Did you sleep well?" "Not sure I slept," he said. "It was more like my thoughts were dreaming." Celera smiled gently. "That is the sign of a true merge. My thoughts touched yours even in rest. Did you feel anything strange?" Jack looked away, a little embarrassed. "I dreamed I was flying, but not with wings. With emotion." She nodded. "That was me." He raised an eyebrow. "You dream in feelings?" "Yes," she said. "We don't imagine shapes or places. We become what we feel." He gave a soft laugh. "Well, I guess I became a breeze." Celera touched his hand. "Then you were free." But Jack's smile faded. "What happens now? Am I supposed to just stay here forever? Be your bonded partner and forget Earth?" Celera lowered her eyes. "No, I will not keep you like a pet. That's not what I want." Jack paused. "Then what do you want?" She looked up again, this time her voice firmer. "I want choice. And I want you to choose. Not because I admire your body or because of the merge, but because your soul sees mine." He stood up and paced a little. "This is all a lot. Emotions, bonds, glowing chambers. Back home, people break up over coffee. I don't want to break anything," she said. "But I understand. Humans need time." Jack stopped. Time. That's the one thing we never seem to have out here. He looked at her, seeing her not just as alien now, but as someone wanting to understand. Wanting him, not for what he looked like, but for how he made her feel human. He took a breath. "Okay. You said your people don't approve of bonding with humans, right?" Celera nodded slowly. "Then let me meet them," Jack said. "Let me see your world. If this bond is real, I want to face what you face." Her eyes lit up, this time with something close to joy. "You would come to Sailor Prime? My homeworld? If I'm already tangled up in your emotions," he said with a grin. "Might as well go all in." Celera stood, stepping close. "But there's danger. If they find out we've merged, they might exile me, or worse." Jack looked at her hand in his. "Then we go together." She smiled softly. her voice shaking just a little. Jack, you do not know how much that means to me. He looked deep into her golden eyes. You said I'm warm. You called my body beautiful. But I think the most human thing I can give you is standing beside you when it's hard. Her lips parted like she might cry, but no tears came. Her kind didn't cry. Instead, she wrapped her arms around him, not out of desire, not from curiosity, just a quiet embrace that said, "You don't have to walk alone." Later, as they prepared, the ship for departure, the AI made a final report. Merge stable. Partner alignment. Mutually recognized. Emotional echo level. Harmonized. Zalera looked at Jack as they stood by the controls. "You're sure?" she asked. Jack smiled. "I've never been less sure about anything. But for the first time, I want to be unsure. With you." The stars outside the viewport shimmered, and ahead of them was her world. Waiting. Watching. Ready to judge what had never happened before. A human and an alien. Not enemies, not scientists. But something far more dangerous, a pair. The bond is forever. The stars of Cellular Prime shimmered like frozen fire. Zalera's diplomatic vessel approached the homeworld slowly, its signal silent. It was not a warship. It was not a traitor. It was returning with something far more controversial. Human. Inside, Jack stood beside Zalera, staring through the front glass as her planet came into view. Massive crystal towers spiraled upward from violet forests. Silver rivers curved around floating cities. Everything looked graceful, controlled, almost cold, and Jack could feel it, through the bond. Zalera's nerves. Her fear. "They won't accept me," she said quietly. "I broke 1,000 years of law. I touched a human. I bonded with one." Jack didn't say anything right away. He just reached over and took her hand. "You didn't just touch me," he said. "You trusted me. And I chose you back." Zalera's eyes shimmered, not glowing this time, just soft. She squeezed his hand. "I'm not scared of your world," Jack said. "I'm only scared of losing what we just found." The ship docked. 2 Nylari elders stood waiting. Their faces were calm but cold. Their robes shimmered with layers of authority. They stared at Zalera, then at Jack. One spoke in the old tongue. "You returned bonded to a human?" Zalera stood straight. "Yes, his name is Jack. He is not my servant. He is my partner." Another elder stepped forward. "You understand what this means, Zalera. You will be removed from the research. Cast. Your name stripped." "I accept it," she said without flinching, "because I found more truth in one night with him than in a lifetime of silence." The elders turned to Jack. "You are not one of us. Why have you come?" Jack took a breath, then did what no human had ever done in the council chambers of Cellular Prime. He spoke from the bond. "You don't have to trust me," he said, letting his feelings travel through the link. "But I feel her. Every heartbeat, every worry. I saw her soul, and she saw mine. That's what this is." He looked at Zalera. "This isn't a mistake. This is something new." For a moment, there was only silence. Then the lead elder stepped back. "You will not be punished, Zalera, but you will no longer belong to the cold logic of our people. You have chosen warmth. Let it guide you." Zalera closed her eyes. She was no longer a researcher, no longer one of them. She was simply herself. And she was not alone. They walked through the city after the meeting. No one spoke to them. Some stared, some bowed, others turned away. But Jack didn't care, and Zalera walked taller than ever. "I'm not afraid anymore," she said softly. Jack smiled. "Because now I'm stuck with you?" She laughed, really, laughed for the first time. "No, Jack, because for the first time I feel whole." He stopped walking and turned to her. "Zalera, back on Earth we have a tradition." She tilted her head. A ritual? Something like that. He reached into his coat and pulled out a small metal ring, a nut from a broken bolt. Simple, scratched, human. I don't have gold or diamonds, he said. But if we're really bonded, I want this to mean something. Zalera looked at it like it was a galaxy. This is beautiful. He slipped it onto one of her delicate fingers. Then she leaned forward, resting her forehead gently against his. Their bond pulsed warmly inside them, no longer confusing, no longer scary, just complete. Back in orbit, the ship's AI made a final log, final status, merge complete, emotional synchrony, total, classification, life partners, and far below, in the twilight glow of Sealer Prime, a former alien researcher and a human mechanic sat beside a quiet lake, not as enemies, not as science, but as two beings who chose each other forever.